Will Peter Obi's move to the ADC actually have any effect on the upcoming 2027 presidential elections? Well, let's critically analyze it and see how he will fare. So, Peter Obi just moved to the ADC, as we have all heard, and there are a lot of dynamics in the mix that we need to look at and, for us to analyze the whole issue. Now, Peter Obi is coming from LP to the ADC. LP was the former train he used, the former platform he used for his political ambition in 2023. Then, and Atiku Abubakar, one of the other strong presidential candidates, was in PDP at that time, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in APC. After that election, and now presently, Atiku Abubakar has moved to the ADC. He's already there with some other bigwigs, people like Nasir El-Rufai, Amechi, a whole lot of others. So recently, Peter Obi joined them in ADC. So he's the most current person to join the ADC. And now, we've known that for many, many years, Atiku Abubakar has been trying to become the president of Nigeria. He has contested, for many years and has lost. Atiku has been the person that most people have thought will become the flag bearer in ADC, would become, the ADC candidate for the presidential elections. But other people, like Amechi and Nasir El-Rufai, they've also been seen as people who might want to contest with him in there. But Atiku, we all know, is the strongest amongst all of them. Now, Peter Obi has joined them. And before Peter Obi joined them, there has been a lot of talks about, okay, if Peter comes, who will Peter be the presidential candidate, and who will be the, his running mate? If Atiku is the presidential candidate, will Peter Obi, agree to be his running mate with the obedience there? If this is that and that, a whole lot of intrigues here and there. But now we are there. They are all in the ADC. So what is likely or most likely to play out? Now, this is the issue. Atiku Abubakar was the former vice president during Olusegun Obasanjo's time. So he cannot be a vice presidential candidate again. He has already been. He can't be 2 terms. He can't be again. So that is out. He can't be anybody's vice presidential, candidate or running mate. So it leaves Atiku Abubakar with only one option, the option of being the presidential candidate, because he can't be the vice presidential candidate. Now, that's on one side. Peter Obi, a very strong candidate and all that from Labour Party, but he's coming new to ADC. And we are now hearing some of his supporters, the obedience, people like Mama P and some others saying, well, they are in the ADC because of Peter Obi and no one else. No Peter Obi, no ADC for them. And if Peter Obi should leave the ADC, they are leaving. It's Peter Obi or nothing else. So, and that if Peter Obi does not become the presidential candidate, then it's nothing for them. They would follow Peter Obi to wherever he goes. Meaning, Peter Obi cannot be running mate to anybody according to his followership, to the obedience. So, if Peter Obi agrees to be Atiku Abubakar's running mate, he will lose his obedient support according to what some of his followers are now saying. Then, let's look at another person becoming Peter Obi's running mate if he gets the presidential candidate. Okay, let's look at someone like Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is a big wig in the north, but we know his major stronghold is in Kano, and Kano is a very strong state when it comes to Nigerian politics. So let's say Kwankwaso agrees to become Peter Obi's running mate. That will be a strong team. But let's look at the other antics there. Then it means that Atiku Abubakar would have agreed to step down and not contest for, to become the presidential candidate. He would step down. Then maybe they would have, I think there would have been an agreement before all this would happen, before even Peter Obi would want to come to the ADC. He would have agreed that, okay, I'll step down. And since you, Peter Obi, have been saying that you only need one term, to govern Nigeria and put things right. Okay, let's agree. Come and take the one term. Then after your one term, I will come as president. Now, let's also put into consideration that Atiku Abubakar right now, he's 79 years old. If Peter Obi becomes president in 2027, Atiku Abubakar will be 80. And by the time Peter Obi's first term is due in 2031, Atiku Abubakar will be 84 years old. So if he goes then and he becomes president, Atiku Abubakar will be president at 84 years old. Then maybe his second term, he will be president at 88 years old. Then by the time he runs it out, he will be 92. So that's also aside. So there would have been that agreement. So let's go with the most likely one, or the one which most people are assuming would play out, which is Peter Obi and a strong Northerner to be his running mate. Now, how are they going to play out in the elections? Do they stand a chance against APC? Let's look at that part now. Atiku Abubakar, if he steps down on, good terms and all that, agreements and all that, if he steps down and he's pledging his support to Peter Obi, then let's say someone like Kwankwaso, I'm using Kwankwaso because politically he's a big boy, in the north. Let's say someone like Kwankwaso pledges his allegiance also because he's going to be the running mate. And let's say they settle things between Amechi and all the other boys, the other guys there, they bring their followership. Now, Atiku Abubakar has left PDP. His followership, they were in PDP, and PDP is still in existence. He has left PDP, so he has left some of his followership in PDP. The people who are coming with Atiku now are his, core supporters, not PDP members. His core supporters who were in the PDP with him. Not the whole of PDP is coming to ADC with Atiku Abubakar. So I would give his followership from PDP about half of his former followership, or a little, bit lower than half, maybe 1/3 of his former followership. Then we'll give Obi his full. No, Obi will not even have his full followership anymore, because after the 2023 elections, Obi's followers, that's the obedience, they came out in their true colors. They made a lot of enemies through insults, through jabs, through fights, through tribalism, through different things. The obedience came hard on the Yorubas. They insulted them, they called them names and all whatnot. We all saw that play on social media. Let's not deceive ourselves. We all saw what happened. So Obi lost a lot of followers from, the Yoruba ethnic group. He lost a lot of people, and also from other ethnic groups, because a lot of people now saw how his major or main supporters, the Easterners, how they felt or how they reacted towards other tribes. So he lost a lot of followership. So he's coming back. For me, I think he's coming back with about 2/3 of his former, following. Now, for Kwankwaso, let's get it right. Kwankwaso is not officially in the ADC as at now. Presently, he's not officially there. I'm just using him because for me and for political analysts, Kwankwaso is the most influential politician in the North right now. He holds one of the biggest states when it comes to politics in the North. So I'm assuming Kwankwaso would come to ADC because of this, he's the governor of Kano now, the rumors that he's going to APC and that issue they are having. So I'm thinking if the governor goes to APC, then Kwankwaso would, take himself in his party ANPP, and look for a merger with, ADC. And he has already said that any merger he's going to go into, it's either the presidential candidate or the vice presidential candidate. So that's why I'm using him strategically, that if Obi becomes the presidential candidate, then he would take the vice presidential candidate. That's the logic I'm using. So let's get that clear. So for someone like Kwankwaso is coming from the north and a very, very influential and strong politician in the north. He is the leader of the NNPP, the party currently governing Kano State. So he's coming with that power from the north, but it's from Kano State and, some parts of the north coming to join the ADC train, the ADC structure. Then other, people bring in their structure. But how will that structure play against the structure of the APC? Now, let's look at that of the APC. A lot of governors, about six or seven in recent times, have crossed over from, their various political parties to the APC. Even Rivers State recently, Delta, a whole lot of states, bringing the number of APC states to about 28 out of 36. APC has 28 state governors out of 36, leaving 8 for the other political parties. Now, 28 governors come with 28 state structures. 28 state structures come with 28 local government structures, if you know what that means. Because the governor is like the president is the strongest political figure in a country. The governor is the strongest political figure in a state. So that is what APC is coming with to the 2027 elections. And we have seen what ADC is coming with. So what chance does the ADC and Peter Obi stand against the APC? Yes, I know a lot of people will say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's performance, the suffering, the this, that, the that, and all that. Let me tell you, I'm not going to go into that for now because we all know, except you are not a political analyst, except you don't know what governance is all about, except you are in the miracle working industry and you say abracadabra or you say something and things just change overnight. You will know that policies, do not manifest overnight. You will know that policies do not go from bad to good instantly. You know that there is a process. If it is hard, sometimes it will get harder before it starts easing off. Sometimes if it's hard, there's a process. The thinning of the hardship will gradually take place before things get better. But a lot of people are very emotional, very sentimental, very this and that. You want things to, so they would use those metrics to try and judge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's performance and say, okay, because things have been hard, because of subsidy removal, because of floating of the dollar, because of this and that, people will not vote him in. But he has thought ahead of that and he has gotten himself and his political party 28 governors that would work for him. I'm not saying all that will translate automatically into him being re-elected, but it will play a very, very, very big role and part in the coming elections. So do you think with everything that is on ground that Peter Obi's coming to the ADC would actually make any difference? For me, my own personal take is no. I don't think they'll be able to beat the APC structure that is on ground right now. The 28 states, their local governments, their machineries and everything. No, I don't think ADC will be able to do that. So that's my take. Till I come your way next time, please like, share, follow, and do drop your comments. Doing all this will definitely help make the channel grow. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Silver Squad Channel.